And good morning at 7:04 on this Thursday, May 18th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on a Thursday morning. We're glad to have you with us. We are happy to be on the air for Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon. And our usual two are with us this morning. I'm going to say welcome back, Ronnie Kelly.
Good morning.
You've been on special assignment, vacation or something.
Special assignments.
The last two Thursdays.
Yes, sir.
We've missed you.
And last Thursday I was coming, but then I went to the gym and I was sitting there waiting. And I looked at my watch. It was 10 minutes to 7. And I called Paul. I said, man, I don't know why I was just sitting here and forgot.
Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And how are things with you?
Going great.
Good. Paul, of course, is the general manager. Ronnie's in sales at Bates Ford, and they come here each Thursday morning to tell us the latest and go over all the good things that are available for people at Bates Ford, including lots of new and pre-owned cars, right?
Yeah, we got a great selection. We've actually purchased several pre-owned vehicles, all different makes and models. We try to keep a variety of makes and models, not just Fords. We do get a lot of good Ford trade-ins. But also when we do buy cars, we like to always have a variety of different makes and models. That way, if there's something somebody else is looking for, we can get it. Once we get them, we always try to put them through our shop. They have to go through a thorough inspection, make sure they're roadworthy and quality vehicles before we'll put them out on our lot. And, of course, we always stand behind everything we sell. On the new side, we've got a pretty good variety. Me and Tony had a little meeting yesterday with some of the Ford people. We were kind of discussing the future and our new facility and how we needed more new vehicles coming for our Franklin Road location, and we were assured that we would get more of what they call allocation, which is more vehicles for us. So that's a positive sign there. But we're all in all, everything's looking very well.
You want to add to that, Ronnie?
Yes, it was looking good. I drove through the lot this morning, and I was amazed to see as many new vehicles we have, especially trucks. And like Paul said, we got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Even the F-150 is a great selection. We got a great selection of Rangers and many different other models, GMC, Chevrolets, and got some great work trucks, for people. And right now, Ford got some great rebates on certain vehicles. We got 0% for 36 months, and some has money and rebate, so it's a great thing. And also, if you look on 48 months, we had 2.9, 3.9 on 60, 5.9 on 72. That's some great rates.
And you're still sold on that
F-150.
F-150.
Yes, sir.
Can't beat it, huh?
Can't beat that F-150. F-150, 250, 350.
What do you think about them, Paul?
Oh, they're great vehicles. One of the things people don't realize, and I've got an Expedition, and we travel sometimes on baseball tournaments or whatever. The F-150 is actually, if you got it where you got the tonneau cover, the hard cover where you can put your luggage or ball equipment or stuff like that, it's actually roomier than the Expeditions, believe it or not. You would think the big SUV would be roomier. But the back seat in the F-150 is about as most comfortable vehicle to travel in as there is.
What do people most look for today? I'm sure they're shopping for price, but there's certain things that they want.
Right. A lot of times, like when you look at an F-150, people are looking at something that's very economical. And when you look at the F-150, it's a luxury vehicle, it's a work truck. Just say, a lot of people look for that space. They look for comfort. They look for safety. Safety is the number one thing that people are looking for. It's just like my wife and I were getting ready to go on a trip, and my grandson go to Chattanooga, so I went up through there, and he had a bunch of stuff that he needed to bring home for college, so I put it in the back of the truck, like Paul said, a hard cover, had my luggage in the back seat, and we had plenty of room and came back. So that's a lot of good things that you look for. There's comfort, luxury.
Okay, good. Let's talk about cheapest oil change in town.
Yeah, we still got it going. Like I said, price of oil is kind of like eggs and everything else. It's gone up, but we're doing the $39.95, 5 quarts. That's includes oil change labor. We don't just dump oil in it. We always do a thorough inspection. Like I said, we'll look at your brakes, batteries, tires. We'll give you all them measurements, test your battery. If there's any necessary needs, we'll come let you know. Generally, we get oil changes in and out within probably an hour, hour and a half.
Well, what about you still having them lined up every day?
Oh, we stay packed with oil changes. There was, I forgot, one day this week, I think it might have been Monday or Tuesday, put 12 sets of tires on in one day. So, and then I was kind of amazed. There was a Nissan we put some tires on. There was a customer that had a Ford truck that bought some tires for his and then brought it back and got some tires for his daughter's Honda. So it wasn't just Ford vehicles, you know. And we put, when you buy a set of tires, we do a lifetime rotation. And there again, when you get your tires rotated, you always get to look at your brakes and all that kind of stuff. Batteries, you're my testament every week.
Probably got the cheapest battery in town, too.
I believe we got the cheapest battery in town. $149.95 on most vehicles. We install them free. There's certain vehicles where you can't get to them, I think it's 13 to 16 escape. You got to remove half the motor to get to the battery, but it's not a fun deal. But we charge a little bit to put that in. But most vehicles will put the battery in for free. The battery's got a 3-year unlimited warranty, meaning it'll get replaced for free for the first 3 years. Then after the 3-year period, it's prorated over the 100-month longevity. So the longer it goes, the less you get. But I had a customer the other day that had a battery for like 47 months, and he couldn't believe he had to pay like $52 for a new battery. Yeah. So, it works out very well.
All right, all of this waiting for you, Bates Ford, 1673 West Bend. Y'all have a great week, and hopefully we'll do it again next Thursday.
Thank you.
Ronnie Kelly in sales, Paul Tubbs, general manager. Bates Ford, the dealer and trade for anything that don't eat. We're 10 and a half after 7 o'clock, and here on this Thursday morning, I want to welcome Lebanon Fire Chief Jason Baird. Jason, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's good to see you this morning.
Well, it's good to see you again. Been a while since you've been out here, and I've been wondering about getting back with you. I've been inundated with people wanting to be on. I've had to kind of do a juggling act at times, especially with the attention that we give to the legislature and extra days taken up during the legislative session, which went about 4 months this time, not through May. But Jeff Baines is my go-to guy on this Thursday of the month, and he had called on you to be here this morning. So thank you, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Jason, for being here. Well, it's been at least 2 or 3 months since we've seen you. What all's happened?
We've been busy. We have seen a spike in call volume. From my perspective, from administrative, at budget time, and so we just had the first vote on the budget, and so it's just been extremely busy for us. We are a town in transition, Coleman, and all you have to do to believe that is talk to somebody at a red light somewhere, and they'll let you know. But we are growing. It is at times it's difficult to keep up with the growth. Our line of work, we have to be proactive instead of reactive. So it is definitely you have to try to see things before they actually develop. But we're doing a good job. We've been, like I said, we've been extremely busy. We've had 3 or 4 house fires in the last 2.5, 3 weeks. So that's pretty labor intensive on our workforce. I had 2 guys, 1 piece of equipment about 3 days ago. Did CPR 3 times in one day. That's 2 guys on 1 piece of equipment did CPR 3 times in one day, and that's, we have a lot of things we put in motion when that happens. I contact them individually. Our EMS division chief contacts them individually, and then we do a lot of follow up with them just to make sure they're okay. And the magnitude of the event is nowhere near the realm of how it affects the family that we're in the process of rendering medical aid to, but our first responders too are affected greatly by it. And it takes some time for them to work their way through it. And, in our line of work, you train, and then you get put in this event, and, sometimes you can be measured by a life being saved or not being saved. Mm-hmm. And no matter how well you train and how good you are at your skill set, you can still have an outcome that was not the one you had hoped for. So it's difficult for them because it essentially looked like they were unsuccessful. And so we manage it closely and make sure we put those guys. We run a ton of data that we never used to run. Now I'll pull data on each employee to see how many calls he ran this month, and then if he needs to go on a slower piece of equipment the next month and things like that. So we're always looking at managing our workforce and their workload and those type things.
And of course you're still fighting fires, and just as diligently and maybe even more expertly than ever, but you're responding to accidents on the highway which has added to, it's keeping you a lot busier.
It is. We are right now averaging 25 calls a day. Average call lasts 45 minutes to an hour. So you look at that, and we're pretty much working all day long in some capacity. A lot of times we'll have 2 or 3 units on one scene. So almost, I wouldn't say daily, but weekly, and sometimes daily, I'm tapping into the resources of Wilson County EMA also. Wilson County EMA taps into our resources almost daily. It's just got to a point where we all can't manage and have enough assets for everything that we see in a day's time. So it takes coordination between every agency in Wilson County, and we're very blessed that we can go across that line and get help when we need it. And it's just a matter of fact, Bill, that it's going to be there. There's no question about it, and it's always in a timely fashion too.
That's great to hear, of course, and with growth comes more of these calls, and as we continue to grow, your call volume is probably going to continue to increase.
We are looking at right now, I pulled it yesterday, we're 100 calls, a little over 100 calls ahead of where we was last year at this exact date and time. So last year was the largest number of calls we've ever received in our department, and we're barreling down towards a new number this year too. And we asked for new staffing in the budget. The council and the mayor and our financial commissioner were gracious enough we're going to be awarded some staffing, so we're going to be able to put a new piece of equipment in service that's going to help us do some responding too. So that all helps the workload. Our biggest workload is Station 1 right there across from the post office. That station just gets absolutely annihilated every single day. So we have to rotate people in and out for burnout and things like that. Even sometimes we have some equipment, we'll only let them work on it for 12 hours of their 24-hour shift just because of the call volume. You know, we used to, everybody had a second job. So when it became, our call volume started growing, you didn't get to sleep at night. And that became pretty family intrusive on the income about not getting to sleep. So a lot of guys now have one job and that's it.
Yeah. Okay, Jason Baird, our fire chief, is with us. We're going to take a break here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford, and that regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5-course oil, tax and disposal, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. The police are still on the scene of this accident with injuries. 2300 block of Murfreesboro Pike. Traffic's on the increase also as we check it out live on 840 over here in Williamson County where it connects with 65. 65 itself busy northbound as you come up through Franklin, Brentwood, pretty much on schedule all the way up into South Nashville. Hey, it's that time of the year to call Crest Pest Control. These guys are awesome. Check out their website. It's pretty neat at crestpestcontrol.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
We continue here on this Thursday morning. Let me say we're going to give away some tickets to the doo-wops, and we're going to do it right now. They're coming to the Capitol Theater Sunday, May 21st, 2 p.m., and I've got 2 tickets for the first caller here at 444-9899. MJ will answer the phone, so give us a call right now, and that's 444-9899, and you got 2 tickets to see the doo-wops this Sunday, May 21st, to Capitol Theater. Well, back to Jason Baird, our fire chief, and got to say something about Colton Dow for just a moment here. You and his father, who was fire chief before you for quite some time, worked together. You've known Colton for a while, and it's kind of created a lot of excitement here in Lebanon. His chances of making it with the Titans.
Yes, sir. Well, me and Chris actually were on the same engine company when Colton and Kobe were born, and it is absolutely amazing. Colton is an example for every child that has a dream. Every dad, all my friends groups, everybody always think they've got the kid that's got a chance, and Colton's done it. And it's amazing. It's pretty much taken over the town too, from social media's perspective. We're actually on Sundays. If he makes the team, we're getting a shirt made up. It's going to have his number on it. All of our workforce is on. If they're working on the Sunday he plays, we're going to wear his jersey on duty and things like that. So it's exciting. It's affected every aspect of our department just because of Chris's interaction with us, and he was so excited that it was about. As soon as I seen it on the screen, I shot him a text because I knew I wouldn't be able to call him, but it was several hours before I got anything back from him. So, but it's absolutely amazing. He's very deserving, and that whole family is just they represent Lebanon in a way that Lebanon truly is. From
All right, let's get back to the fire department here. It's budget time, and you alluded to that a little bit ago. You're going to get most of what you want, or you're going to get all of what you need?
I'm not getting it all, but I understand that. When I make a budget, I realize that's part of the process. I'm getting a lot of the things that I need to really make happen. We can't afford to sit idle any year and not do some sort of personnel growth. I can't always add a new piece of apparatus, but when the data reflects that we need to add a new piece, I need to have the staffing to do it. The staffing this year is for one purpose only, and that's to add another piece of equipment at the 109 I-40 corridor right there at Station 4. Our call data is reflecting the need for a quick response unit down there. I'm hiring 6 people, 2 for each shift that will be down in that station, and they will responding quick response, medical, even fire, anything we can do to keep some of the maintenance off our rig that's down there and our rescue and stuff like that. So that area is fixing to get a new piece of equipment, which is exciting. And it's exciting for us because anytime I can add a piece of equipment, it helps keep some of the workload off and some of the maintenance costs down.
Jason, do you think as we continue to grow, it's going to just necessitate a larger budget for the fire department every year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a conservative to my core, and I try to reflect that in my budget and I understand it. And all I can ask when I ask the mayor and financial commissioner, and then when I talk to the council, I just ask for an opportunity if there's going to be cuts, if I can be part of the cutting process so I can manage the need that I need so I don't lose something that I absolutely have to have. There's some things, like fire gear has a 10-year shelf life. I don't have any choice in that. I have to replace fire gear in 10 years. It's what's amazing about things like fire gear. Fire gear, I've got a repairman, and he checks my spec all the time to making sure that I'm providing the very best material and fire gear I can provide. And what he tells me routinely is, Jason, your spec is still the same as it's always been, which is a very good spec, but the type of material is changing, and they're still meeting the spec, but the material's changing and it's not as durable. So I'm lucky if I get a set of fire gear now to last 5 years, to be completely honest with you. And our goal for our fire engines is 15 years frontline, 5 years reserve. So there's a 20-year limit or 20-year mark on a fire engine. So, and you think from the perspective of your vehicles in a 20-year life, how much technology changes within your vehicle. Think the same thing on a fire engine, the technology will change. But we do our very best. Maintenance costs absolutely ate me alive this past fiscal year. I have struggled all year to stay ahead of that, and there's just not a lot I can do about it. If you think about it, I've got 4 stations. I've got 4 frontline fire engines. You think about the entire city as a whole. There's only 4 fire engines that protect the city. I have a reserve engine, and it stays in service quite a bit. I have to do yearly things such as pump testing. That's annually. Ladder testing. That's annually. Hose testing. That's annually. And anytime I come back from that test and something fails, I have to get it fixed. I don't have a choice. I had a $11,000 repair on one of my ladder trucks this year because they found some fraying in a cable when they extended the ladder. And so those things are, unexpected expenses other than day-to-day operations. And so, but I'm blessed. I've got a fantastic vendor that I work with. I can pick the phone up and they are there within an hour or two. So used to, back when I hired in, you basically, if you had a fire engine go down, you unloaded the whole fire engine and jumped on the reserve, and you took that fire engine to Nashville, and it was gone for weeks. And Right now, we have a mobile mechanic that comes to us, and I can leave it in service and stay in the station. And it's a lot of times they'll keep it in a position where if we get a call, they can still respond and then come back and start where we finished after the call's finished.
How do we compare with other cities our size? Gallatin, for example, or maybe Franklin or others in Middle Tennessee. Are we comparable in most ways?
We are. I appreciate that question because I talked to Scotty Bush, the fire chief for Hendersonville Fire, probably 4 times this week. And we were comparing pay scale, we were comparing equipment, assets, all those things. And we're really close to our neighboring cities. You know, the difference between a city and a county is the equipment that we use. I marry up better from equipment perspective from our neighboring cities such as Mount Jewett and Gallatin and Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, and those things like that. The county, because they don't have as much water as we do, many fire hydrants and stuff, they carry different types of equipment. But from Murfreesboro to Lebanon to Hendersonville, we are very comparable in our gear and our equipment and all of our assets and our personnel. It's a challenge to keep our pay scale.
Yeah.
That's the biggest challenge because one city, entity, or municipality can get in a position where they are really having trouble keeping staffing, and then they adjust their pay rate, and next thing you know, I've got 5 employees that have found out what they're starting a firefighter at now, and then they're entertaining the thought of leaving. And So I don't know how I ended up sitting in the seat I'm sitting in, but I have by far the best workforce that I could ever ask for. I don't have any trouble. I don't ever see them, knock on wood, on a headline, in a paper or anything like that. So it's funny that the blue collar type employee that says yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and has a fantastic work ethic, good attendance, and things like that, and understands, because what I tell all of our people, this is not a job. It is a complete lifestyle change, completely. Every third day you're expected to be at the Lebanon Fire Department. It affects your wife, your kids, and a lot of the kids that I hire, I go through the complete life cycle with them. I go from the death of their parents to the birth of their child, and it's difficult. It's family intrusive for sure. This career is, but I have a workforce that is second to none, and I'm thankful for that. I can guarantee you what's different about our department is I can take in about, you give me 15 minutes, I can put 30 or 40 people in a room. I can guarantee that. That's unheard of. But our group they're really tight, really close. We've been blessed where we've have access to the type employee that fits the mold for us. I come to the conclusion a long time ago that everybody cannot be a firefighter, and that's okay. But it does take a special type individual because we see things that normal people don't see. You have to learn how to compartmentalize it and not let it control you or take over your life from depression and all those things. But there's so much more rewarding aspects of this career than there is any negative. And it's like 10 or 15 jobs in one. You can grow your skill set in extrication, cutting cars up, and rope rescue, and trench rescue, and water rescue, and you can stay in the firefighting and just really get your skill set toned in on that. And it's a fantastic job, and we're blessed to have the workforce.
Well, I hadn't thought of. I thought of it a little bit, but maybe not so much as listening to you here. How rewarding this could be when you've saved somebody's life, you've saved somebody's house, you've done your job. That it is your job, but then how appreciative the people are when you are able to do that.
This community, not a lot of times have I had to ask the community for help. There's no need in it because they've always provided, and we are really, really tight in this community, and they are so good to us. There's very few days when the community homemade pie don't come in or something like that, and to be part of a life-saving event and from a fire perspective, it is rewarding. We get to affect people possibly on the very worst day of their entire life, from a medical perspective or a fire perspective. And so we have an opportunity there we go back to our station and prepare for the next call. There's a continuation for this family. that they have to make the next steps from a fire perspective or from a medical. And we follow up and check on if it's a medical, we continue to follow up with the family and check. If it's a fire burnout, we spend a lot of time preparing, getting housing for them. We call in extra patrol for their house, so there's no looting. We make sure that the structure can be closed and kept secure. And we have a lot of we've had 3 fires in the last few weeks. I mentioned that. One behind Emmanuel Baptist Church on Woodland, one on Leeville Pike, Pennsylvania, and then one on Mimosa off Bluebird. Each time those families were displaced. When we left there, we made sure they had a place to sleep. We made sure they had a plan in place for the next day. And we made sure that the family had stepped in and picked up. And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, the insurance agents get on the scene when we're still there. So one of them, unfortunately, we helped bury their animals that did not make it. So there's a lot of aspects to what we do, a lot of.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us this morning. It's really good to see you again. Thanks so much. I hope it won't be too long till we'll have you back again.
Thank you, sir.
Fire Chief Jason Baird, and that's part 1 of Coleman and Company. We've got more, so please keep it here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They've got that sales blitz going on now. Check out the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. 0% financing for 84 months on most models. Add an attachment to your tractor and get implement bonus bucks up to $800 off, or take a cash discount of $2,400 on select models. This is for in-stock models only. The sales blitz will end May 31st. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's still pretty heavy right now as we stare at it live on 24 westbound and through the Hickory Hollow area. You got all that traffic flow coming past Walden Road in from Rutherford County towards Nashville. Wilson County traffic's been pretty quiet so far, with the exception of some radar on I-40 in around Belinda Parkway. 65 is very busy southbound through Millersville right now. All that traffic making its way down from the north. Hey, it's that time of the year to call Crest Pest Control. These guys are absolutely professionals. Check them out at crestpestcontrol.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Let A.G. & Johnson assist you with your new home search. From the first-time home buyer to the empty nester, we are experienced in all facets of the home buying process. We will be with you every step of the way. No matter if you are buying, selling, downsizing, or upsizing, we can assist you with your real estate needs. Call us at 615-444-0909 or find us online at agandjohnson.com or Facebook AG & Johnson Realty. AG & Johnson is your community's trusted realty and auction company.
Hey, this is Paul at Bates Ford. We got some great deals going on for you. 0% interest is back. We've got 0% interest on F-150s and Edges and rebates even up to $3,000. On the service side, we've got the Works vehicle package, which includes an oil change and a tire rotation. We'll meter beat anybody's price on tires. We have batteries for the low price of $149.95 installed on most vehicles. Come see us at Bates Ford, 1673 West Main Street, or visit us on the web at www.tonybatesford.com, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
Dry and a bit cooler this morning, but we will see pop-up thunderstorms return towards the end of the day. Look for temperatures in the 60s and 70s to start, headed for a high of 80 this afternoon. Our highest rain chances also come this afternoon. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm #1 Ned.
We welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Thursday morning. We're ready to talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, and Ellie and Cash is with us today. Doing solo. Good morning.
I'm flying solo, Coleman.
And how are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you.
A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main. Their website, www.agandjohnson.com, and that phone number is
615-444-0909.
Well, you got an auction to talk about.
We do. It's online. Mm-hmm. Technology is amazing.
That is something that we hadn't done a lot until recently.
Really. Well, you know what? We love technology. You know me. I am all about the technology. I love it. This one is online. Preview is this Sunday from May 21st from 1 to 3 p.m. So if you'd like to preview the property and take a walk through the home, come on out from 1 to 3. The address is 704 Round Top Road in Alexandria. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. We like to say it's a little handyman special. That means it needs a little extra love. That means it needs a little fixer-upper project. But it's a great investment property. We have out there that it has a rocking chair front porch, side porch. You can enjoy the serene environment with the covered side porch. So that means it has a few porches on it. But, it's great for homestead living. If you want a writer's retreat, if you want to have a getaway, meaning if you want to have a short-term rental or a long-term rental property, it would be good for that also. But this is just a great little property out there if you want it out as a homestead, or if you want to have like a short-term retreat or a short-term rental property.
Well, one thing they say about Alexandria, if you ever go into at the city limits, is the home of the friendliest people on earth or something like that.
Incredibly friendly. I remember I needed directions one time that I wasn't sure where I was going. They said, well, just follow me. I'll take you there. And I'm like, I'm not really sure if I want that, but okay. They got me to where I was going safely and efficiently.
All right. Well, this is online, and you can bid through Thursday, May 25th. Right?
Absolutely.
Which is a week from today.
Yes, sir. Yes. Bidding ends next Thursday. And just go to the website at agandjohnson.com, click on auctions, and it will take you right there to where you can bid.
Okay. What else you got?
You know what, Coleman? We are busy with residential listings, whether you are listing a home or looking for a home. Last week alone, we had 5 residential listings go under contract, and numerous amount of agents have taken buyers to contract. We have several building lots that are listed and have gone under contract. And I'm personally working with a couple clients up in Smith and Trousdale County that are looking for 35-plus acre farms for homesteads. And so we have a lot going on. So the market's still full. There's still a lot happening. I brought 3 residential listings for us to talk about. We have one in Hartsville for $329,900. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, new construction. It's 1,400 plus square feet. It is just a lovely, great home. It has granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. So again, that one's listed for $329,900. That just went on the market a few days ago. One that went on the market yesterday here in Lebanon on Vineyard Way. That is, I'm so sorry. Yeah, on Vineyard Way. I got confused. In the Vineyard subdivision, lots of vineyards there. This one is 3 bedrooms, 3 baths with almost 4,000 square feet. Hayden has this one listed. It is just completely custom home. Is just too incredible to pass up. You have to see it. But it has this beautiful stamped concrete driveway, all these custom designs on the interior. This one's listed just over $1 million. And then we have another one coming in Mount Juliet, goes online tomorrow. It's in South Mount Juliet. I love the convenience of this one. It's convenient to Providence, to I-40, to 840, convenient to Gladeville. It has 100 acres on 3 sides of it, 1 neighbor. It's just over an acre of land, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, just under 2,400 square feet. This one comes online tomorrow for $530,000. This is a fabulous home, and I have that one listed.
Well, you're looking for more listings all the time, obviously.
Always looking for listings, but whether you're looking to upsize or downsize, if you're looking for investment properties, if you're looking for a vacation home, we have an agent that can help you. You know, we've been here since 1977. We have an agent that has a specialty for you.
All right, well, keep all that in mind. And again, the website, www.agandjohnson.com, and that phone number,
615-444-0909.
Well, Helene, thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you or whoever next week, and we'll do it all over again. Have a good one.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Helene Singer-Cash with A.G. and Johnson Realty at Auction, 728 West Main in Lebanon. All right, we are 22 before the hour. My guest is here for part 2 this morning, and a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of meeting about 5 minutes ago when he walked in, but Dan Curry is with us this morning. Dan Curry, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and it's good to have you here. You're with Collier Engineering. You're a registered land surveyor.
That is correct.
And you're here to let everybody know a little bit about you, I guess, and to be my guest. And I hope that you make you comfortable here and that we can have a good conversation this morning.
Absolutely.
But tell us about you. Do you live here?
I do. I live in Hillview Farms here in Lebanon. I was born in Dallas, Texas, and I've grown up in Tennessee. Went to Cookeville High School, graduated from Tennessee Tech with an ag engineering degree. Went up to Knoxville for a master's degree and took some classes to get myself eligible for a survey license, and sort of just fell into it, to be honest with you. I did an internship in Cookeville and then moved to the Davidson County area in 2012, and then got into Wilson County about 2015, and I've been here ever since.
What got you into this? Usually, I mean, sometimes when we're 5 or 6 years old, we may have an idea of what we want to do, and then others like me may be 25 and not sure what they want to do. But did this come to you at some point? Is this what you really want to do?
I think it was over time. After I graduated with my undergrad at Tech in ag engineering, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I enjoyed being outside. I knew that. I always had a desire looking at maps. I always thought they were very interesting, knowing where I was. And I think that kind of sparked researching and figuring out with those things. And I kind of fell into land surveying, to be honest. And it was not anything I was looking at when I graduated from Tech, and talked to some friends, talked to some people about the program they had at the time in Knoxville. And I went up there to get my master's because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then at the time they had the courses available to get you to sit for the surveying exam. And so I took the courses for my master's and took those and started apprenticing with a surveyor, and I passed my first exam, and I kind of just fell into it. And it's been great. It's been a great journey this last decade or so.
What is there about this that is so attractive to you? You may have hinted on it, but
I think meeting people, seeing properties. I talk to different people with all different walks of life and different needs. Being able to communicate to people and understanding, because the average person says, hey, I need a survey. Well, that's kind of loaded. What do you need? What's going on? And those are usually some of my first questions I try to ask people is, what's the specific need? And then that can help me derive the scope of work and what needs to be done in the most efficient manner.
what's the most common thing you do in your job?
The most common thing, I would probably say taking phone calls and talking with people and trying to get work and really just grow my name, grow Collier as a name, as a survey option, because people don't come to Collier Engineering necessarily for survey, and I'm trying to change that, and that's a big reason why I'm here today.
All right, to let people know all about this, so the scope of what you do, from what to what, maybe?
We do anything from staking a lot line so someone can put up a fence, to doing boundary and what we call ALTA surveys for 60 to 80 acre developments that are going to be houses. As we all know, we see them everywhere. They're going up. And surveyors are usually the first people on those sites and the last people that come off of them. So at this point, I take just about anything I can get.
Depending on the job, of course, but I mean, do you have a crew that you work with? Are you a one-man operation? How's that?
We do. I've got actually made a few hires recently, some really great people. I've got 6 people that are underneath me working. I've got 4 people that are more so dedicated in the field, and I've got 2 people in the office, and we bounce back and forth. I think, it's good. People in the office need to see what the people in the field do, and the people in the field kind of need to have an idea about the office, because then that makes the machine turn very well when everybody understands their role and how they fit in their role.
Well, I'm guessing there's quite a demand for people who do what you do, and I don't know how many they have to choose from in this sort of thing, but talk about that, if you will.
Yeah, that there's a handful of great surveyors that live here in Wilson County. They do great work. They've been doing their work for quite some time, and a lot of the survey work also that people do here, the registered surveyors, come out of Nashville, and I want to try to be, if you will, shop Wilson County first. And I live here. My wife works in the Lebanon Special School District. And, I'm trying to just, establish that there's a younger surveyor here that lives, that wants the opportunity to just have your business. And I think that, the average surveyors in the last decade or so of their tenure, of their career, and they're kind of set in their ways, they're set with their clients, and to kind of double the issue is we all see how much development's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the older generation of surveyor that's had their clients, and
they're kind of established and not beating the bushes for new business.
They're not beating the bushes for new business, and that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm trying to do is create opportunity.
Okay, Dan Curry is with us, Collier Engineering, registered land surveyor. We're going to take a break right here, and we will be back with more. So, MJ, if you're ready, let's do our break right here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and that regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. There's still on the scene of this truck that's up against the wall over here. It's one of those trucks that's carrying a bunch of cars on 40 westbound at Central Pike in the Hermitage area. It's more rubbernecking right now that's going on as traffic increases down through Millersville on 65 going southbound through that section of Sumner County coming in from Dixon County. That still looks good right now. Watch for some radar out there on I-40 East, especially as you get closer to Kingston Springs. Still some volume here on 24 westbound in from Rutherford County up through the Hickory Hollow area. It's that time of the year to call Crest Pest Control. These guys are the best in Middle Tennessee. Check them out at crestpestcontrol.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Service the hometown way. That's THW Insurance. Because THW is an independent agent, you can select from several highly rated insurance companies offering competitive rates and excellent service to best suit your needs. For home, auto, life, health, long-term care, business, and employers insurance, ask THW. THW Insurance Services, 321 West Main in Lebanon, or call 443-3849. For an online quote, visit thwins.com.
And again, good morning. Welcome to our final segment of Coleman and Company here on this Thursday morning. I've got 2 tickets for the Doo-Wops concert at Capitol Theater Sunday, May 21st. We'll give them away if you want to call our contest and information line, 615-444-9899. First person to call wins 2 tickets to the Capitol Theater and the Doo-Wops this Sunday afternoon. With me, Dan Curry this morning, Collier Engineering, registered land surveyor, and we're talking off the air here. First of all, you do have a family, and you mentioned your wife teaches school, but tell us a little bit more about your family, if you will.
I will. My wife is she works with the LSSD, the special school district, and she is a special education assistant. She works between administration and parents and teachers and working with kids with special needs, and it's just she's great at what she does. She really is.
And you have a child, and
I
maybe
do.
one on the way, I believe.
We do. My wife Chelsea is 2 weeks away from her due date for our second child, and we have a 4-year-old Bo. And as everybody knows, they're a handful, and I wouldn't change it. He's a great kid, and we love him to death. And it's really been a journey, and we're getting ready to start our next journey. So we're both really excited and scared and all those things.
But you're well on your way. Have a nice family here. Settle down here in Lebanon.
Yes, we do. I've been very lucky from just a family standpoint throughout my life. I've got 2. My mom and dad have been involved in my life from day one, and I've been very lucky. Well,
we'll get back to surveying in just a second, but I'm finding out a little bit more about you. What what are some of the things you do when you're not working or not busy with the family? You like sports?
I do. I'm obviously a UT graduate. I'm a big Vol fan, and some people love that, some people don't. It's obviously a melting pot around in this area, especially in Nashville, of SEC fans. But as far as what I like, I enjoy just, really just being outside. Being a surveyor, you think, oh, you're always outside. Well, now that I'm in the managerial position, I don't get to get outside as much. So, hiking, I just finished doing the Nashville half marathon, the rock and roll, and I'm actually on Saturday riding in the Tour de Nash. That we do a lot of work with Metro Parks, and it's a great way to see greenways and our projects and various things. So yeah, I just enjoy being outside. Anything that keeps me busy. I have a hard time sitting still when I come home.
Okay, people ask you what you do, and you start talking to them about being a land surveyor or the surveying that you do with college engineering and where you are and what you're wanting to do. Where do you start?
Well, the first thing is really researching property, and not only the property that I survey, but the properties around it. And one thing I feel that can set me apart is from the other surveyors is I tend to be an over communicator. I try to tell people, not only a cost of a survey, but why something costs what it costs. Mm-hmm. And even beyond that, when I see, if I'm doing research on a property and I see that another surveyor has done something recently in the last few years, I'm going to give my quote to a potential client, but I'm also going to turn that client to that surveyor who's worked recently in that area and say, hey, this guy's been out there. He knows the area. He's already surveyed some of your property. And because I look at other surveyors not as competition. I look at them as colleagues. We're all trying to achieve the same thing, and we don't need to be working against each other. We need to be working together, and that's the reason that I do that.
What are some of the reasons that people need you?
Oh gosh, it can be. There's lots, and as I alluded to, anything from somebody wants to build a fence. If somebody wants to build a house, we lay out houses. We again, a home builder wants to build a 10-lot subdivision. Well, we'll go out and do all the boundary work for that in the front end. And then we'll turn that over to engineers. They design, and then surveyors come back out and lay out all the improvements, the sidewalks, the houses, the utilities, and things like that.
But there's a reason for this. I mean, in the very beginning, you need to establish, I guess, yes, we could say, establish boundaries, establish property lines to know exactly what's yours and what's not. Because so many times over the years, we've heard of disputes over boundaries, and probably either it wasn't surveyed or it wasn't done correctly.
Either that, and I won't say anything bad about it, but sometimes realtors can be misleading if you're not careful, because I've had people come to me that said, well, my realtor told me that my line was over here. Huh. I said, unfortunately, here's your property corner, and I can show it to you in the ground, and unfortunately, this is over here. So, and sometimes that works to the good, sometimes that works to the bad. But yes, anytime you're buying property and you ever are uncertain about what am I buying or what's mine, a good thing to do is to be asking, one, is there an existing survey that's been done, or request one to be done.
Do you do a lot of that?
We do, yeah. We the private sector is one area I'm really trying to hone in on, because that's more of an area that the surveyor, as we've discussed, that's in their last 10 years of their career, they're not looking for private work. Most of the things they're doing are with developers, with engineers, and there's really an even smaller amount of surveyors that want to take on a fence line staking job, that want to take on a lot survey. Mm-hmm. There's people that do it, but it's just there's not many that want to mess with it because they're too busy doing all their other larger projects.
Well, I take it you're really not culling anything at this point.
No. And one thing that I have not really touched on, and I do have, is I'm also a certified floodplain surveyor. So any kind of development, and a lot of people, developers, engineers, floodplain development is kind of a hard thing to get around. It's not black and white. It's very gray, and what you can do and the process and dealing with FEMA and submitting, various, whatever it may be. I do a lot of elevation certificates, and that's when we go out and we locate structures and we get their elevations and their differences to what we call a BFE, which is a base flood elevation. Those are derived from FEMA, and predicated on how that relationship is dictates insurance rates. And you can do various things to your structure to increase those rates, or increase the policy.
Oh, okay. Well, are you price-wise, or are you competitive?
I try to be. I tell people I'm not always going to be the cheapest, but again, one thing I do is when you call me, I'm going to answer the phone. When you email me, I'm going to respond. And I think that small tidbit is something that is lost a lot today. I feel like in business, there's a lot of people that just don't answer their phone. And I always hear from people when they call me and say, I've called a dozen surveyors. You're the first one that's answered the phone. And I've heard that more than once.
Really?
Yes. People, and it just falls back to the average surveyors just not really trying to find work.
Well, why don't you give me your telephone and we'll announce it on the air here. Is it 615?
It's actually 931. I've got that Cookville Cookville number.
931
510 2800.
2800.
Yes, sir.
931 510 2800.
Yes, sir.
All right, and somebody will answer the phone.
That's right. That's right. I will do my best to answer and give a response as expeditiously as I can.
And do you have an opportunity to leave a message if the phone isn't?
Oh, absolutely.
You do return calls.
And I do have a second one coming in 2 weeks, so I certainly will have a busy schedule here for the first half of June. But I'm like I said, I'm always looking for work, and not only for me, but for my people, because my people are even more important. You can't do it all by yourself. I've got great people in place, not only in my department, but in Collier as a whole. It's the culture of that company, our company, is outstanding.
If you joined us late, Dan Curry is the gentleman I'm talking with this morning with Collier Engineering, registered land surveyor. And again, that phone number is 931-510-2800. But I'm wondering, have you gotten into any civic clubs or part of organizations? You mentioned church here, but
I have. I've gone to a Rotary meeting, and I'm working on fitting those things in as I can. Obviously, I'm still commuting into Nashville. A long-term goal for me and for Collier at Survey is for us to get an office open here in Lebanon, and to be local, to be here, to have a presence.
After all, who likes to commute to Nashville?
There you go. Well, luckily, as I said, my company's good to me. I do have a company vehicle, and I'm usually on the interstate by 6 a.m., so I miss a lot of the traffic going in, so it's not too bad.
Well, you made an exception this morning.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Appreciate you being here.
Yep.
And I guess your wife is happy that school is about out.
Oh, she's very happy. She's obviously on the tail end of her pregnancy, and yes, she's ready for school to be done, and she's ready to see her new baby boy.
What's the future look like, and what does growth? We've seen so much growth here in the last umpteen years, but the last 5 years especially, it seems like. Anywhere there's a vacant lot, there's 2 or 3 houses trying to get on it anymore. So what's the future for surveying? I would think is good. There's going to be a demand.
Yes, I don't think the demand for the licensed surveyor is going anywhere. And I think that, Lebanon is quickly behind the heels of Mount Juliet as far as development. We're seeing that now in Lebanon. You read the paper or anything and you see, here's another new development that's going in, and here's this and here's that. But also, while the demand is not going anywhere, I do think surveyors have to kind of keep up with the technology, because the technology is always changing. There's always new technology. I do also have a drone license. We do some drone work, and it offers anything from aerial photography to we can generate surfaces with drones, and drones are about like a car. You could spend $1,000 and you can spend $100,000. They're a new piece of technology that I'm slowly trying to learn and adapt, and just being prepared for change, and realizing that things are always going to be evolving.
Well, somebody young like you with a whole future out here, it's not like you're over here. Well, I've learned this, and I'm just going to stay where I am and sit still and finally retire. You've got to you've got to adapt here to have a future.
Absolutely. Well, and I've even learned about the adapting. Everybody talks about, again, surveyors always being outside. I've kind of gotten into a role where I'm more so inside. And now when I do get to go outside, it's not even work for me. It's like I'm getting paid to be out here, and this is fantastic. I get to go roam around this property and go through the woods and go walk down this creek or go, see what's out on this property that nobody's probably walked around on in 50 years. And and I enjoy every second of it.
You love it.
I love it.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Well, we're in our final minute here, and I appreciate having you out here this morning, Dan. Dan Curry, Collier Engineering, Registered Land Surveyor, and again, his phone number is 931-511-2800. Are you on Facebook? Are you on social media? Or
I myself am not on Facebook, but our company does have a Collier Engineering. If you go on Facebook, you search them, they will be there. We do have a LinkedIn. We're actually working on kind of beefing up that, if you will, putting some more things out there. I think we had a post on Facebook. We were in Centennial Park, for those that are familiar with that, in Nashville, and there's an island there, and my guys had to wade out in the water with waders and go locate an island because they're talking about putting a bridge out to the island in Centennial Park. So those are fun little projects that we get involved in from time to time.
Well, thanks for being my guest this morning. Maybe one of these days we can have you back.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that's about it. Let me congratulate Gail Oliver for winning 2 tickets to the Doo-Wop Sunday concert. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. And until then, I wish you a tremendous day.